Tease up your hair, grab your fishnets, and crank the dial all the way up. Because tonight, we step into the ring with two undisputed queens of 80s MTV. Welcome back to Cinemajam versus the ultimate movie battleground. I'm Sebastian Gomez.
And I'm Pablo Velez. Episode 32. Two pop superstars at the absolute peak of their fame. Two studios betting millions that radio gold will turn into box office gold. And two of the most legendary flops of the entire decade. Tonight, they finally settle it.
In one corner, the queen of pop herself, Madonna as Nikki Finn, a helium boys ex-con on a one-day rampage through New York, complete with a Rolls Royce in Harlem and an actual escape cougar named Murray. James Foley's screwball throwback, Who's That Girl from 1987.
And in the other corner, the girl who just wants to have fun with the dead. Cyndi Lauper's acting debut as psychic Sylvia Pickel. Seances, astral projections, and a trek up the Ecuadorian Andes, chasing ancient Incan cosmic power, with peak stuttering Jeff Goldblum at her side. Ken Kwapi's Vibes from 1988.
MTV icons. Two beautiful disasters. 6 rounds, but only one leaves the ring redeemed. Let's start jamming.
Okay, Johnny, this one's got your number on it. Let's jam.
Welcome to another Cinemajam versus, a podcast where two friends meet every week to talk about two movies and decide which one is redeemable or worth seeing. As always, I'm Sebastian Gomez and
Pablo Velez. Also really excited for us to be in this versus episode to talk about two of my favorite guilty pleasures.
And I guess you're both excited because Belgium passed today to the next phase of the World Cup.
Yes, of course.
I imagine that's, which one are you rooting for more, Canada or Belgium?
Well, Canada just made it to the next round. So
Well, they already, both of them actually did.
I'm happy about that.
And the US just passed as well, so we still have to root for Colombia on Friday.
Exactly.
Well, as we mentioned before, this is our versus episode in the middle of the week. But if you want to see more about us and want to support the podcast, we ask you that please go into the social media and follow us there. Join our community, and if you can support us in Patreon, that also helps a lot, especially to keep supporting and keep doing this. This is something that we love and is a passion project for Pablo and me, and there is a lot of exclusive content there that you can help. And as well in Instagram and Facebook, we put some clips and some information of what we're doing in YouTube and Spotify and everywhere. And today we have two 80s icons, MTV icons, as we mentioned. Paulo, why did you choose Who's That Girl and Vibes?
Why did I choose these two movies? Because they are both amazingly bad, but yet really fun and good movies. They are both the perfect definition of guilty pleasures. I grew up with these movies. I think I saw them both until I couldn't see them anymore with my brother when I was growing up. And I was always fascinated. I mean, first with Vibes, like who came up with that story about this ancient, cosmic power from aliens in an Incan town somewhere in Ecuador, and then this like parallel storyline about psychics, and I don't know, it's such a messed up story. And then Madonna, when we were growing up in the 80s, Madonna was the queen of the pop, and Who's That Girl is like a really famous song. It's like, a really cool song from the 80s. And when the movie came out, it was also like really fun to see. It's like full of, nonstop action and comedy, and it's pretty cool too.
It's a throwback to the screwball comedy, so that's a more clear representation of that type of things. And both of them, I think, are actually also a good representation of what became into the famous term Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Are you familiar with that term?
No.
Okay, this is going into the podcast. I wanted to mention it. So the AV Club coined this term to talking about the role that Kristen Dunst represents in Elizabethtown, the Cameron Crowe movie, and it just relates to that woman in movies that is, a manic pixie dream girl, that is a whack woman that is coming in to help the guy that is depressed or that is going to marry it and is in a awful situation. The term was coined in 2005 when the movie came out, so it became super popular because it was the perfect description of all these type of movies all the way back to the 1940s, even the Breakfast at Tiffany's. That woman, is a little tipsy, and the guy is a writer, so it comes in, and the woman appears like a magic being there to help the guy. So it became a popular term, and this movie is actually like the perfect definition because both of the male actors are basically getting married or are in a relationship, and these women come in and basically break that marriage or break that relationship, and they become happier with life, I guess. So that's the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Okay.
And so these movies are the perfect representation of that, and it's coming into the first question, so that's why I wanted to explain it before.
Perfect.
Okay,
do it.
you want to jump? Okay, yeah, let's do it. Well, I do want to mention another thing before we go into that one. Originally, you were going to propose
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing But Trouble, the Dan Aykroyd crazy movie as well. And I actually think that this movie should have been called Nothing But Trouble, because Madonna is nothing but trouble in this movie.
Round one.
Okay, so the first round is always about the story and the script. So, Who's That Girl is basically an homage to the 1940s style of screwball comedies, a man and a woman going around the town and, finding crazy things that happen. And this one is crammed into a one frantic day in New York City. And Vibes starts with a psychic research study and mutates into an Indiana Jones light adventure in the Ecuadorian Andes. So which script escalates the chaos better, or its chaos better, and which one actually sticks the landing?
Wow, that's a good question. I've always been amazed by the story of Vibes. I still don't understand who came up with that and why. Why did that make sense to anyone? And the thing is, like, once you see the movie, it's so much fun that you stop like trying to make any logic out of it. As you were saying, Sebas, it starts in New York. Is this group of psychics doing studies, and they get hired by Peter Falk, playing like one of the most hilarious roles ever. And they are hired to actually go to Ecuador and find first his brother, then his dad, then like his friend. Like Peter Falk was always lying to Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper. But then as they are in Ecuador, like you said, so as it became like this Indiana Jones movie, right? Like they try to kill them. They have to, make their way through with the locals in a different language. They actually have this near death experience when they try to get information from the guy who was in a coma. They have this trip up the Andes to a Machu Picchu like city where they see these artifacts from aliens. Like there are like so many things happening in that movie that, I mean, Who's That Girl is, like you said, it's more like a screwball comedy, right? Like people just get, I mean, Madonna getting
going
the
around,
yeah,
destroying cars, a
which is
big
also fun.
cougar, yeah.
It's also fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean, Vibes has way more things going on. It's way more interesting.
It's trying to be a lot more different. I mean, the Who's That Girl remind me so much of the Martin Scorsese movie. I was actually, I forgot to look into I think Griffin Dunn did a similar role before, right? In a very similar role in another movie of this type. The main character, London Trout. I'm looking at his back, his After Hours. He is the same guy from After Hours, and it's basically the same story that Martin Scorsese already did in 1985, so 2 years before. So it's the same silly premise. So yeah, I agree that at least Vibes is trying to tell something different. I mean, he's not very successful in it, but at least it's giving you. I mean, it was crazy. There was in one of the things I was reading, it was like they were trying to put a Ghostbusters story in
I know.
a screwball comedy, but
It's
yeah,
like so many things. Indiana Jones, Aliens, Ghostbusters. Come on. The point goes to vibes.
yeah. Let's give it to Vibes.
Round 2.
Okay, Madonna goes full Helium Boys cartoon against Griffin Dunn's Steve Tax Attorney. Lauper, the boss as a ditzy, endearing Sylvia Pickel against Goldblum's psychometrist, yeah. Both women are Manic Pixie Dream Girls at full 2 decades before the term existed. Which leading lady owns the archetype, and which duo has the chemistry you did actually watch for 90 minutes?
Oh, wow. This is a really tough one. I've always thought that the chemistry between Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum was very interesting. I've never seen. I mean, I think the only
But
other
like
movie.
friends, right? Not like a love interest, but like friends
Yeah, but even at the end, when they do actually like end up, together in
together.
a
Yeah.
in a romantic way, it feels okay. I mean, it's not as as exaggerated maybe as Madonna and the other guy in Who's That Girl? I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah.
Griffin Dunn. But no, I just wanted to say that there's something really peculiar about seeing Jeff Goldblum doing comedy. I've only seen one other movie of his when he's actually like trying to do this comedic role, which is Transylvania 2000,
Yeah, like right before this one, right? Yeah.
which was even worse. I mean, that is not even a guilty pleasure. That is a thing that if I could, I would burn the masters of that movie. Like, is the worst thing ever. And so when you see him in this movie, he's like so natural. Like his jokes are very good, are very dry, are like Chandler in Friends. Like they're very good. I never got like that same, vibe from the guy from Griffin Dunn. He was a
No,
bit
yeah.
too, overshadowed by Madonna, who was overacting, of course. I think the chemistry between Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper is better, and I've always found Cyndi Lauper really good in that movie. She's like this cool, New Yorker girl that at the end you're rooting for her. You want her to make it.
That's the thing. You sympathize more for Cyndi Lauper's character
Sympathize. Yeah.
yeah, because Madonna is so annoying from the beginning that I will never believe that anyone will fall in love for her, even if she's more beautiful than Cyndi Lauper, and I cannot deny that. I mean, she's sexy as hell in this movie, but I will never date a girl like this. You annoying all the time. I could never believe that this guy will fall for her, and it was so fake. I mean, I felt all the time that yeah, they forced that relationship at the end for them falling in together by getting lost in a jungle in the middle of
In the middle of Manhattan.
Manhattan. Like, okay, we're lost here, so we're gonna sleep together. Like, okay, sure, that's your way to fall in love. Whatever. Yeah, let's go. I will give it to Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I will give them 2 points just in this.
Come on,
question.
and like the name Colin at the beginning, like when she's calling him like a stretcheroo, it's like so funny, so good, so natural. Come on,
Both of them have much more better comedic timing than
yes,
Madonna, definitely. Yeah,
yes.
Madonna looks so forced trying to do this role, and the voice, they sound the same, like, you know, that weird Brooklyn accent, while Madonna is supposed to be from Philadelphia and sounds like from Brooklyn, and at least Cyndi Lauper is supposed to be from Brooklyn, so like that makes more sense than this one. I don't know. Yes, yeah. To be honest, when I was finishing Who's That Girl, I felt like this movie is so bad. Vibes, at least, you know, we're gonna talk about at the end. I will probably see it again. Okay, let's go to round 3.
Round 3.
Okay, so round 3 is visuals and direction. Foley's opens up with a Betty Boop style animation intro and coats Manhattan in glossy neon and a lot of spray paint. And Quapis drags his sickies out of the lab and into the mystic Andes. So, which director do you think builds a world big enough to hold their pop stars persona?
Ha, good one. Maybe in this case, I might say, Who's That Girl? I've always liked the opening, the cartoon sequence, because it explains the whole backstory with the credits. Like you understand. I mean, it's not a very complicated story, anyways. But it's a cute way to start a movie, and you know, it's really 80s. And then, like you said, like
and it's very Pink Panther. I was thinking they're trying to copy the Pink Panther with that.
Totally. But then, you know, the way they represent like New York, I guess in the 80s, and like all the crazy things that, you know, could have happened in the 80s in Manhattan, like the scene, obviously the forest in this guy, in the rich guy's like, you know, apartment, and, you know, then the wedding that is like all crazy at the end. I don't know, maybe it worked better because it was like a single CD where, you know, you could see all the excesses of the 80s following Madonna as she was like, you know, wreaking havoc across the city. With Cyndi Lauper, I think they started, I mean, they obviously started in New York, but then they went to Ecuador, to I guess Quito, and then they go up the mountains, different locations, different moments. I think the better scenes are when they are in the hotel. You know, the tango dance, the at the beginning when they're like having like the cocktails and he's like drinking his water. Like those are like the better scenes location wise because it's a cool hotel. But I want to give maybe the point to Who's That Girl, Sebas. I think it carried better the scenery for the story. But what do you think?
I actually felt that we were, well, I actually felt a little bit more like Peru than Ecuador, to be honest. But it felt that they were in the Andes. And I like that. You know, you could tell that they were going somewhere. Before that, it was generic New York, generic Washington. I think he worked in Washington. The museum he worked. They
No,
never
he was in New York.
released.
No,
He was in New York. Okay.
Yeah.
The yeah, I mean, yeah, both directions weren't really particularly great. So either of them can, for me, it can go either way. So let's give it to Madonna. Well, to Foley's James Foley. I guess, yeah. At least he was trying to get a vibe, and you could tell that he used a lot of inspiration from different movies, and they are in the screen. You know,
It
from
felt
yeah,
it felt like
a lot of yeah.
it felt like an 80s music video, like a Duran Duran video, you know, with
Yeah,
fancy cars and cougars and, you know, a lot of like makeup and stuff and, you know, cute people from the 80s. That has a cool thing, you know, to
it
it.
has a certain charm. Well,
It has,
that actually, now that you mentioned that brings us to
Round 4.
yes.
yeah. I mean the soundtrack, especially because Madonna's soundtrack went multi-platinum. Who's That Girl is number 1, Causing a Commotion, hit number 2. The album was more influential than the music. The movie was a flop. Vibes was a whole different thing. There was a song from Cyndi Lauper at the end, but basically it went like a synth orchestra to carry the mystic mood. So, which one do you think worked better? The use of Madonna singing in the middle of, is they're walking in and a pop song of Madonna plays in the background, or the other one that it has a more traditional soundtrack?
Madonna.
I imagine
100%.
that, yeah.
Yeah, by far. I think Cyndi Lauper, the best soundtrack that she has ever done was for Goonies. The title song of Goonies is the best thing that she has ever done for a movie. Then Madonna did, the whole movie is, her album. So it's great. From the opening track until the end is good.
And I think the Cyndi Lauper wasn't that bad song, but it was more normal. It wasn't really that memorable. Okay, let's give it to Who's That Girl, and let's go to Pickel.
Round 5.
So many moments in both these movies. Rolls Royce, gun chopping in Harlem, and a Rolls Royce getting destroyed by hooligans. A high society wedding with guns flying into cakes, and a fencing match there at the end, or the psychic test demonstration, Peter Falk delivering the best lines in his life all through the jungle, or Incan pyramid full of energy. Which movie do you think was like the, especially, that 80s pop star camp? Because both of them are very campy movies. So which one do you think has those better moments?
Memorable moments. Come on. There's a scene in Vibes with Steve Buscemi, like one of his first roles. He was Cyndi Lauper's, like, his sleazy boyfriend who uses her just to win at the horses at the races. And
I felt so bad for her at the time, at that moment. Like, oh my God, Steve Buscemi, what are you doing?
I know. And then I think the whole buildup about, all the scenes that show her life are like so cool. I'm talking about Cyndi Lauper in Vibes. Madonna's movie, Who's That Girl is like really full of good moments too. Oh, shoot, Sarah, this is a tough one.
But the thing is that they are all about making the guy suffer. So, you never feel sorry for Madonna. You always feel sorry for the guy with Madonna. So it doesn't really get that. At least in the other one, you get Cyndi Lauper and feel sorry for her. That scene in the racetrack is a great example. And the way they interact, mentioning the music in the hotel, talking with the girl that is going to kill Jeff Goldblum. I thought that scene was hilarious. It was super funny. The Swedish psychic. So I didn't knew what to think about that, because he behaved like a James Bond villain during the full movie. So his scenes are basically like super weird. Yeah, I don't know. I will probably give it to Vice more than the other one, because yes, there are funny moments in Who's That Girl, but they are always in making the guy the butt of the joke. So I don't know. Murray is pretty cool. I like the scenes with the cat. The scenes with the Patagonian Feliz.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, it's a cougar. It's just a cougar. Only for the cougar, I will consider to give in to him. But the rest,
I would split it, Sebas. If it would be up to me, because both movies are like full of this 80s,
over the
wonderland
top.
of
Yeah.
memorable scenes. So
Yeah, they are both over the top. There is no other way to describe it. So, I mean, the scenes in the pyramid are so over the top. You know, the guy what is it, Frank? The guy that they bring in, the sick professor as well is so over the top. Everyone is over the top. So in vibes, so it's kind of weird. In the other ones, they try to play the more serious. Except Madonna. Madonna is like not even 11. It's like on 20, and the rest of the people is in 8 or 7. So it's super weird. And and everyone had 20 in their cup. I don't
everyone
know
had
what
one
they
in the
wanted
cap.
to say with that.
That was a running joke. Yes,
Yeah. Okay, let's go with
the last round.
Round 6.
okay. This is rewatchability.
Poof.
Strip away the nostalgia of seeing the 80s music royalty on screen. Does Who's That Girl earn the rewatch on relentless slapstick and peak Madonna mania, or vibes hold up better on this Ghostbuster meets Romancing the Stone weirdness and eternal Goldblum charm?
That sounded so dramatic. So the funny thing
If
is
we
that
take away the MTVs,
yes,
the queens of pop, so without them, which movie do you think is more rewatchable? That's
with
the real question. Yeah.
oh wow. I mean, there's obviously more funny and engaging characters in vibes compared to Who's That Girl by far. But funny enough, I I watched both movies twice, like in the last 2-3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're like very fresh in my mind, and I felt last night when I finished Who's That Girl that shoots they are both equally movies that I would watch again. Like there's not one that I would say it stands over out compared to the other one. I mean, Vibes is a better movie. It has a wacko storyline, but like you said, like Jeff Goldblum and Peter Falk have these amazing roles, and they're like super funny to watch. The other one only has Madonna trying to get this other guy in trouble, but it's also like this, you know, engaging theme. Sebas, I don't know. I'll let you decide this one. I would split it, but I don't know. You
I
you
will.
make the call.
I think I will give it to Vibes. I actually felt very annoying watching this movie. Yeah, it was a music video. You describe it perfectly. There are moments where you are just watching Madonna across the street and a music starts playing, and like, why is that song start playing here? It doesn't make any sense. Just the energy of Madonna was so weird, and that high pitched voice, helium is describing the question that I use. Uh, I will. I mean, Cyndi Lauper talks like that. Madonna never talked
I
like that.
know, I know.
I don't know why she was trying to do that voice. So yeah, I will give it to Cyndi Lauper. Also, no, not Cyndi Lauper, to Vibes
Okay.
over Who's That Girl, to be honest. And I know Who's That Girl, that is 39 years old, has been like rediscovered, and a lot of people like it more than Vibe. And probably Who's That Girl will be the right answer. It's just that I didn't like that voice. I don't know. I just felt annoyed. You know what? Want to split it? I mean,
I want to split it because I want to go one extra round.
no, okay, that's fine. Okay, you want to split it? Let's split. I mean, I will give it to Vibes, but let's split it. Okay, so that actually, if we split it, that makes a tie. So we're just going to ask one more question. So, which one do you think has the,
Wildcard.
We haven't used it in a while, so I forgot we had the wildcard video. Okay, normally we have a couple of questions, but depends on if we get to decide on this next one. So which one do you think have the most WTF moments or best quotes in your
Vibes. Everything about the story is a WTF moment. Like
from the beginning?
From the
From
beginning.
the start, this guy shoots an Incan guide, or and then gets blown up in a weird light from the beginning, and then when Jeff Goldblum grabs him, he's like, what is happening here? Doesn't make any sense at all. It's just a weird movie.
No, and I mean the ghost of
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, go ahead. Continue. There you go. You were saying the ghost of
and then the ghost, that talks to the spirit that talks to Cyndi Lauper. What was her name again?
Julian, or what's her name?
It was something else, and I'm forgetting the name. But I mean, like just that, like a psychic that talks to spirit, and then having Peter Falk, like conning everyone to go and do this dirty job for him, and Jen Goldblum finding that his girlfriend is cheating because the ghost of Cyndi Lauper told him, and there are like so many things.
And he touches her panties.
Oh yes,
and that's when he confirms that, like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and the girlfriend tells him that no, it was my father. He was folding my underwear. Like, is your father a hockey player and something like that?
We just score like I don't know how many goals.
It was great, and the way that they were following him to, what is it? The fish? Is the fish fresh? There were some crazy things happening in that movie.
Totally.
Yeah, let's give it to vibes. As I mentioned, I love the cougar. I think the best scenes in Who's That Girl are the cougar scenes. But in the end, let's give it to vibes. Should we end here? Do you want another question?
I think we're good. I think we have a winner.
Well, yeah, we have a winner.
And the winner is...
A very close winner is Vibes, 4-3. Cyndi Lauper, you made it. This is your championship over Madonna. Congratulations.
Yep.
At least done. That's our, that's what we decide here in Cinemajam. Just kidding. I wasn't going to play it again. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you leave your comments and you follow us or support the podcast in Patreon. And we are looking always for new ideas for the next episode. And we are actually going to do an interesting episode next week. We're always looking for new ideas for these episodes, especially for the Versus episodes, and the Patreon members can actually suggest and vote on which episodes we're going to do. So that's something that we're always looking to grow in the community, because we want to hear about you. So next week, we're actually going to do 2 mundane, violent movies that I'm suggesting. That is Hanabi from Takeshi Kitano and David Cronenberg's classic A History of Violence. That both of these movies have an interest view on mundane life and violence, and that's what I'm suggesting them. So until next time, keep jamming about movies.
Thanks, everyone. Until next time.